Hi, Saoirse.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. Nice to see you. And I just wanted to first start with the top scorer of the season, the award that you got. How pleased are you with that achievement, and how much were you expecting that? How much was that a goal for you?
I wouldn't say it's a goal, but it's definitely, obviously, as a striker, it's always your aim to get goals. And yeah, I think I'm obviously delighted that I was able to contribute that this season. But look, we're realistic, we're all looking at the bigger picture, and we didn't win anything this year, so those goals don't really mean anything, unfortunately. But yeah, it's definitely gave me a bit of, I suppose, self-belief and a bit of a platform to work on for next season for sure.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling as a player, you mentioned there, in terms of sort of slightly disappointing ending to the season without winning anything compared to the first start of the season where there were so many games, you know, you were scoring lots of goals, playing in Europe? How have you kind of dealt with that as a player, and what have you learned from that?
Yeah, look, I think obviously my first season being at the club, I've loved having so many games. I suppose in the past I haven't had as much games, and being involved has been brilliant. But yeah, I think this last half of the season has been extremely difficult. There's a lot of days we have to come in and try pick ourselves up off the floor fairly fast. And look, we understand people are frustrated, we are too, and of course we want to go out and win games and we want to make things right, and as I said, the games are coming at us fast and hard, so yeah, it's been tough, but I think it's just about learning and sticking with it, and don't throw in the towel. I think that's what's most important for us right now.
You mentioned there having to come in and sort of pick yourselves up, and Elena has mentioned you as kind of emerging as a leader in the team. How much do you see your role in being able to do that for the squad and for your teammates, be able to kind of pick them up and help them to move on to the training and to the next games?
Yeah, look, obviously that's a nice thing to hear from your manager, and I think we've a good dressing room and we've a lot of different characters, and it's just unfortunate we haven't got the best out of everyone at times, but I think it is a growing phase, and we do have to learn, and we can use all the excuses we want, but at the end of the day we play for a big club and we have to show up. And yeah, I think it's just about doing that and making sure that we are all on the same page now. I suppose finishing off this season and going into next season is the number one thing, and for me, like, I just need to focus on my task first, and then try help anyone where I can, if I can.
With those learnings, what would you say are kind of, what's the top lesson, or what's right up there with the lessons that have been learned this season?
For me, it's just learning how to win, and I think it's actually probably really upsetting because some of the good football that we have played at times has gone unnoticed because you don't win games. And like, I can go back to the game against Glasgow. I think that first half we were well on top. We played really well. They know how to win and we don't. And I think that's what's been the difference this season, unfortunately. And it is about trying to go get that. Like, no one cares if you play bad. Everyone will think you're brilliant if you win games. I think that's the hardest part, is that we have done some things right. It's just we haven't got the results.
Obviously Hibs tomorrow, they've had an extraordinarily strong season. Does this fixture take on a different quality with the kind of increased competitiveness of the league this season, and that's something that this Celtic side have had to get used to?
No, because I think every game's been tough, no matter who you were playing. And I think it is really important that we try go out and win and put our best foot forward. As I said, we obviously can't win anything, but we have to show pride within ourselves, and I think that's really important. So yeah, I think it's the same as any other game. You want to win, and as I said, we need to learn how to win, so the faster we do that, the better.
Maybe not in the professional era, but Hibs are a team who have been used to winning in the past, and obviously they've got Grant Scott there, who again is used to winning. And you say learning that lesson, is that something that you kind of take in as a challenge for tomorrow?
Yeah, look, I think Grant has driven into those girls and they understand how to win right now. And again, I think a lot of teams have said about us that we have some brilliant individuals. But I do think at times we have played some good football. And yeah, it is about winning, and that's the aim of the game, isn't it? Putting the ball in the back of the net and winning the game. So yeah, we need to start tomorrow, and it's always the next game, and we know the fans are really upset and frustrated with us, but we are as well. Like, we don't want to go out and be losing games. So yeah, it's the next game. Like, we don't care who we play. We just need to go win.
Yeah, and does this set the groundwork for your ambitions for next season? What's happened this season?
Yeah, 100%. I think you're always, now that we know unfortunately we can't win anything, we can only cause upsets. That it definitely is foundation. As I said, we could throw in the towel easily and say, oh well, we're not going to win the league, we might as well just, but that's not going to help anyone. So we might as well start building the foundation now so that we're ready to go coming in for pre-season.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, well, first of all, hello, sorry. Would you be able to tell us what that means, like how to win for those of us who are involved in the game? Just, is it that simple, as simple as just kind of turning it on at the end of the game? How do you go about changing that mentality?
I think there's a lot of factors. Like, I think it's experience obviously comes into play at times, but I think being okay with not playing well but scoring goals, and I think at times we play well and we really enjoy playing nice football, and we forget that having the ball isn't going to win us the game. And I think sometimes we can change that mentality to be like, no, we're on top now, but it's still okay to go direct or change it up. And I think unfortunately we've struggled to find those moments correctly. And yeah, it's learning, and it's also learning about each other, learning what suits every player best, and when you can go direct, or when you are on top, can we get more shots off? It's something we've spoke about as a group. We don't get enough shots off. So yeah, it is. I think it's a lot of it is mentality. Just knowing how to win, knowing correct moments to change things up, quicken things up, slow things down. And yeah, when we get a goal, you don't have to go 100 miles an hour, or when you concede, there's still so much football left. Like, we've all been watching the Champions League recently, and we've been seeing goals in last minute, so it's not over till it's over. And I think especially this year, I think I've learned that a lot, that we've been frustrated, maybe there's half an hour to go and we're rushing everything, and that's just not how we're going to win. I think we need to stay calm and know what we set up to do and go do it.
Do you think that maybe hearing fans wanting that all-out kind of attack has an impact on players on the pitch, maybe? Or
Yeah.
are you able to block that out?
I think you can block it out to an extent, but we want the same as them. Like, we want to try go after it, and people are trying. And I think sometimes when you do hear the roar, or it's in all of us, we all get frustrated, and you might jump out of your block and get drawn into something that you don't need to go after, and then the ball's on the other end of the pitch. So it is just, again, learning that be patient, be calm, and when you get your chance, take your chance.
Strikers kind of maybe find it difficult when things aren't going their way in terms of goal droughts. Elena, the manager, spoke earlier, completely backing you as a player and your character. What is it like, though, for you personally to kind of experience that kind of dearth of goals?
Yeah, look, I think I can go back to it. I think in the last few games we haven't had enough shots, and you need to shoot to score. So that's number one. And as I said, we've had loads of possession of the ball, but how often have we had strikers on the ball in the box? And yeah, look, I look at the game on Sunday and I have two chances. A keeper pulls off one, I don't hit the target with the other. If I'm not in a goal drought, they probably go in top bins or something. So it is moments like this, and I think this sums up the season, really, doesn't it? It's like one thing after another, and it's trying. For me, I could feel sorry for myself and say, oh, I could have scored those goals and it would have been a different game. But look, it's a collective, isn't it? So I need to, if I get those chances again, I need to make sure I stick them, but I can't dwell on it. We've a huge game tomorrow, and we need everyone to just try stick with us. And yeah, as you said, we're going to hear noise and we're going to hear that, but I think going back to being calm, being patient, because as a striker you do only get limited chances, and it's making sure you make the correct decision at the right time and take those chances.
This Hibs team it's completely different, say, to the one last season. Do you feel like every time you play them, because the games have been very close, like you're learning how to play against that defence? It's a very stubborn defence that they have.
Yeah, I think they are stubborn, definitely. And yeah, I think the more you play a team, definitely the more you learn them and you learn how to play against them. But there's always situations that crop up that you can never train for in a game, and it's about, again, adapting to those situations. But again, I think we've just struggled with that final piece of learning how to win, unfortunately, and they've found it. Like, going into the season, like, well done to Hibs, they've been brilliant, but I don't think anyone would have said they would have won the league going into this year. Like, let's be realistic, and they've done a phenomenal job. But yeah, we need to learn how to win tomorrow. We need to go beat them, because it has been tight games and that we have had chances to get the points. we just haven't found them.
The last one for me is maybe an element of the motivation spoiling the party on Wednesday, because that would be incredibly difficult for them. If they lose that game, then it's Rangers, so it's kind of, this might be the biggest game of their season.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was part of the talk all week. We can't win it, but we can still cause upsets, and that's so important in football. You want teams to fear you. You want to leave your mark, and as I said, if we're going to look on building on next season, we need teams to fear us. So we're not going to roll over for anyone. Tomorrow's going to be a huge game for us. If we win that, I think we win some of our fans back even, and we need them with us next season. So yeah, we're definitely not going to roll over, and they should probably fear us tomorrow.